Welcome to the ultimate guide to winning Warbroker's Easter Zombie Battle Royale. Easter ZBR was first released in 2020 and has been challenging players ever since. Each year, the developers update ZBR, so if you're watching this in the far future, there might be aspects of the game that I don't cover. In that case, some of the strategy and tactics might be different. And before you log into the game or to a certain match, I would make sure that you have selected the aggro ability. Every single game that I have played, I have won with this ability. Of course you can use other abilities, but in my opinion this is the easiest one to use. Next, take a look at how many real players are in the server. Personally, I think that 10 players is the sweet spot because the server adds more zombies as more players join. If there are a lot of players in the game, sometimes the server will spawn in an extra final boss at the end of the game. Additionally, more people means fewer resources per person. When the game starts, make sure to parachute far away from others so you can get more supplies. What weapons should you get? Well, in my experience, I would always suggest having one rifle that consumes rifle ammunition, and one light weapon that consumes light ammunition. I use the SMG and the LMG, SMG and the auto sniper. Those are my two preferred setups. In the first 3 circles, you will want to shoot only in defense. That means only if somebody is coming at you or is a threat to you and your health. This is because the zombies can respawn. Also, I've seen a lot of people using smoke grenades, but you don't necessarily need them. They are useful in this game, but with my strategy, you do not necessarily need to prioritize them. On that topic, I would suggest that you prioritize ammunition, armor, getting the rubber chicken, as it makes you faster, and duct tape, so you can repair your armor. In the entire game, I do not use vehicles at all. Vehicles are a bad idea, as 1 or 2 RPG shots could take you down. In the first 3 circles, you do not want to use aggro at all, if possible. You can use it tactically, like if there's a lot of enemies that you provoked or that are coming at you, but I wouldn't use aggro that much or at all in the first 3 circles. At this time, it would be wise to get the last bit of supplies that you need, healing the few enemies that you need if you need a little extra health, or just trying to get some more ammunition. At this point, it is also a good time to hide under the small trees. They are scattered throughout the entire map, and there is usually one close to the final circle, if not in the final circle. You're going to want to hide under these trees and shoot down as many enemies as you can. If you at any time are overwhelmed with the amount of enemies, you can always use aggro to move from one safe spot to another safe spot. It's also useful whenever you're outside the circle and you're trying to go back inside of it. At this point in the game, there are really only 2 things that you should focus on. First is maintaining a full health bar, and second is killing as many enemies as you possibly can. Since it's getting close to the end, you need to have as few enemies as possible in the final circle. I do not worry about ammunition at all during this final stage, because I know that whenever I kill these enemies, there is a chance that they could drop some ammunition. It is also important to remember that during this entire time, you should be as stealthy as possible. You do not want to attract unwanted attention. In the final circle, you want to use aggro one last time, so you can kill everybody without everybody trying to kill you. Congratulations. You got to the final boss. Now all you need to do is take him down. It may look quite difficult with the amount of health the bunny has, but it's actually quite easy. If there is a low tree in the final circle, you're going to want to hide under there and shoot him until he's dead. Okay, that's quite obvious. But if there's not, you're going to want to keep moving. You're just going to keep moving in a circle around him. He's in the center. And you're just going to kind of, avoid his fire and just keep shooting him.
5 minutes later.
That concludes the ultimate guide to winning Easter Zombie Battle Royale. Thank you for watching.